Say if you'd have stood at the top of the Cave Hill, or any of the mountains around us, about 100 years ago, and looked out across Belfast, all you'd have seen in the distance, as far as the eye could see, was linen mill chimneys with smoke billowing out of them. Back then there were hundreds of mills, and that meant there were thousands of workers, all pouring into Belfast every single day, doing all different types of jobs. There were spinners, weavers, hacklers, embroiderers, shop workers, and those were just some of the jobs that people had. My name's Ethel Mc Gladdry, and normally I'd be out and about visiting different groups and telling them about my life as a doffer in one of the flax mills. But we can't really do that at the minute, so I've decided to visit you on your screens. I lived in the Shankill and worked in Edenderry Mill from I was 14 years old. You had to get somebody to speak for you. So my auntie put a word in, got me started. You couldn't just turn up and ask for a job. You had to know someone. Anyway, I left school on the Friday, started working the mill on the Monday, and I was there for the rest of my working life. So a doffer was a spinner, and it was my job to operate the big looms that spun the flax onto great big wooden bobbins. And I wore a belt, my tool belt, that had all these things attached, like a scraper, a picker, a knife, and a whistle even. We wore our tool belts with great pride, swung them about, showed them off a wee bit. I worked in the wet spinning room, usually in my bare feet. That was because of the water from all the machines and the chemicals. Didn't want them to damage your shoes. Sometimes there'd even be cockroaches in the water. So we spun the yarn that went on to be woven into the finest cloth. And then that was all sent all round the world. And at that time, our wee town was so famous that Belfast was called Linenopolis. It was long hours and hard work, but with great friendships, and we're always singing, try and keep our spirits up. Here's one of the wee songs we used to sing, and if you know it, sure join in. You will easy know a doffer when she comes into town, with her long yellow hair and her picker hanging down, with her apron tied before her and a scraper in her hand. You'll easy know a doffer, for she'll always get her man. Oh, she'll always get her man, she'll always get her man. You'll easy know a doffer, for she'll always get her man. So I have to go now because I have to go and do some work. And I just hope that you've enjoyed hearing a wee bit about my life, Ethel Mc Gladdry's life, as a doffer in the spinning mills.